Let's be honest, we're all feeling a little anxious about our AI future, right? Is it going to be this amazing utopia with no scarcity, or is it going to take all of our jobs? Well, that is the big question, and the answer seems to be creating this massive divide between who's going to win and, well, who might just get left behind. So let's break down this great divide.
You really have two potential paths forward. One is this future of just unbelievable productivity and brand new opportunities, but the other is a future of mass replacement. And the scary part is, the direction we're headed is being decided, like, right now.
You know, with every huge technological leap in history, think about the steam engine, the internet. Jobs were definitely lost, but ultimately, more and even better jobs were created in their place. The argument today, though, is that this time is different. See, past technologies replaced our muscles, our physical labor. But AI is coming for our minds, the very thing we thought made us uniquely human and valuable.
So you've got two camps in this debate. On one side, you have the optimists. They believe AI will be this incredible tool, creating whole new industries and jobs we can't even dream of yet. But then you have the pessimists. They argue that because AI can copy our cognitive skills, it's not really a tool, it's a replacement. And if a machine can replace your mind, what else do you really have to offer the economy?
Now here's the thing. While a lot of wealthy nations are debating these far-off scenarios, the impact is already hitting. It's creating a very real, very stark economic divide all across the globe. We don't really need to predict the future here, because for some people, it's already arrived.
For decades, countries like the Philippines and Bangladesh have built up their economies on outsourced service work. We're talking call centers, data entry, transcription, all these jobs that require language and context. For a long time, these were considered totally safe from automation. Well, not anymore.
Just to give you a sense of the scale here, let's look at the Philippines. Their business process outsourcing industry, or BPO, is a huge part of their modern economy. It employs a staggering 1.3 million people. I mean, think about that. That's an entire workforce bigger than many major cities. And it adds over 7% to the whole country's GDP. This isn't just some small sector, it's a vital economic engine.
Okay, so if that last number set the stage, this one reveals the threat. The IMF estimates that a shocking 89% of those service jobs are at high risk of being automated away by AI. Just let that sink in for a second. Nearly 9 out of every 10 workers in a pillar of their economy. We are talking about over 1 million livelihoods just hanging in the balance. And look, this growing divide isn't just about the jobs being lost. It's about the wealth being gained. And who is gaining it? This data here shows the projected GDP boost from AI over the next 10 years. The US is on track for a 5.4% jump. But for lower-income countries, the boost is way, way smaller. So instead of being this great equalizer, AI looks like it's actually widening the economic gap, making the rich richer even faster. So why? Why is this happening? To really get the divide, we need to zoom in from the big national picture to the individual worker and look at how AI is being used. It really all boils down to one simple question. Is it a tool or is it a replacement?
Economists have a term for this. It's called complementary capital. The classic example is a combine harvester. It didn't get rid of farmers. It just made one farmer able to do the work of 20. The technology complemented the human labor, making that person dramatically more productive.
And then you've got the flip side, substitutive capital. Now this is technology that doesn't just help a person do their job better, it does the job instead of them. And this is where AI starts to look a whole lot different than a combine harvester. So here's the crucial point. For a doctor who's using AI to analyze medical scans, that AI is a complementary tool. It makes them better at their job. But for a customer service agent, an AI chatbot isn't a tool. It's a direct, substitutive replacement that can pretty much handle the entire job on its own. Now, this divide between tool and replacement gets supercharged by one simple, powerful fact: an extreme concentration of ownership. The benefits of AI are flowing to the very, very few people who build, own, and control this technology. The amount of new wealth we're talking about is almost hard to wrap your head around. PwC projects that AI will add $15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. But here's the catch. A mind-blowing 70% of that wealth is expected to be captured by just two countries, the United States and China. Why? Because that's who owns the AI.
And it's not just the software, it's the physical hardware too. You know, the CPUs and GPUs that are the actual engines of AI. That stuff is also incredibly concentrated. Over 90% of this critical hardware is made in just 5 countries. So this tiny handful of nations doesn't just run the AI systems, they literally manufacture the very foundation they're built on.
I know this all sounds pretty grim, but the future is not set in stone. Recognizing the challenge is always the first step. So how can workers, and even entire countries, forge a path forward in the middle of this massive shift?
You know, we've seen this kind of disruption before. Between 1980 and 2010, industrial automation and outsourcing made over 7 million factory jobs in America just disappear. The consequences for communities in places like the Rust Belt were devastating, and they were long-lasting. It's a pretty clear warning of what can happen when we fail to manage a major transition like this.
So, if we learn from the past, the path forward seems to have 3 main parts. First, we have to retrain people for the uniquely human skills that AI is bad at, things like critical thinking, creativity, and complex problem solving. Second, we have to invest, and invest heavily, in digital infrastructure so that everyone can get access to the AI economy. And third, we need to strengthen our social safety nets to act as a buffer for people who lose their jobs, giving them time to retrain and adapt.
At the end of the day, AI is set to generate an enormous amount of wealth. The pie is absolutely getting bigger. The real question isn't whether the technology will work. We know it will. It's whether our systems will work. The challenge ahead of us isn't really one of engineering, it's one of design and distribution. It's about crafting the rules that make sure this incredible tool lifts everyone up, instead of creating a world that's permanently divided.